Today on All Things 80s, we've got a M.a.s.k. Firefly. Welcome back to All Things 80s. Now, when I began this channel back in April of 2019, it was my intention to do a lot of vintage unboxings, and my sort of slogan was all about recreating memories. Well, today I have the chance to do another vintage unboxing. Now, I want to give fair warning, if these vintage unboxings cause you distress, now would be a good time to leave this video and let those of us who enjoy this kind of thing to get on with it. So anyway, here we have from 1986 M.a.s.k. Firefly, along with a Julio Lopez action figure. Now, M.a.s.k. was the last ever toy line I was involved with as a child, and I only ever had vehicles and figures from the first wave. Firefly from the second wave, so this is all very new to me. Now, it's a weird toy line for me, because like I said, it was the last ever toy that I bought and played with as a child. So my memories are somewhat mixed about M.a.s.k. Make no mistake, I love M.a.s.k. and I'm assembling a pretty decent collection. But the memory of being probably 12 years old in high school and still secretly buying toys, it was a strange time in my life, as you can imagine, because all my peers were, you know, chasing ass and whatnot. Not to say that I wasn't, but I still had the desire to play with my toys, and I knew that I was probably getting to the point of being too old for that. And M.a.s.k. was that last ever toy line I had as a child. But with that said, I'm extremely excited to get into this. So without further ado, let's get this thing opened up and see what it's all about. So here we are with our M.a.s.k. Firefly. And as with all M.a.s.k. toys, the packaging is so distinctive with the big M.a.s.k. logo and the way they kind of use these white borders to separate the different pictures. Now, I'm going to suggest this might have been a pocket money toy. Certainly not a one-a-week pocket money toy, but I'm sure a kid back then could have saved up for a couple of weeks and been able to afford one of these. Certainly the 2 packs of figures were very much a pocket money toy, but this definitely in the smaller end of things as far as M.a.s.k. is concerned. Now, I've said this before, but it's worth saying again, Kenner really did a grand job of marketing these, whereby the vehicles came packaged with figures. Something that I really wish they'd done with Star Wars, but it wasn't to be. Anyway, before we go on, it does say poster included, showing you the various weapons that are available in attack mode. And there we go. So we're going from a dune buggy into a rocket glider. So again, with a lot of M.a.s.k. toys, the transformations weren't that dramatic, and in this case it looks to be a case of flipping down the front end and popping the wheels out, which expose the wings. But nevertheless, a really good concept, and in my opinion, M.a.s.k. did bring the best of both worlds, whereby it was like a transformer but also had the elements of action figures. So this one came from my Chilean haul, and unfortunately this one did get a bit of damage, which is why I'm opening it. I'm not doing this to be controversial or shocking. I'm doing it because it gives me pleasure, and as I said in the beginning, if watching a toy from the 80s get opened up causes you distress, one, I would say get a life, but second of all, don't watch. So anyway, tape here, here, and here. So these things were very well taped, and it's just such a, or it gives me so much joy to do something again, or in this case for the first time, but opening a toy that, or a line of toys that I enjoyed as a kid, to be able to go through that experience again, you know, 35, 36 years later, is a wonderful thing. So let's see how well this has been preserved. So, classic package of stickers, poster, and instructions. And you can see how the tape has basically, it's still intact, but there's absolutely no adhesive qualities left, but that's to be expected. So, we have the instructions. So I better refer to these because I always sort of tend to go into these new toys ham-fisted and end up doing it wrong or whatever. So this one, it has a button to press down, so it seems pretty straightforward. It does have a missile or a bomb, and there are quite a lot of stickers actually, so hopefully I can get those on without too much problem. But yeah, so that's pretty cool, and of course Kenner back then really did care. So here's the sticker sheet, and that's rather a lot of stickers. I've handled a few M.a.s.k vehicles in recent weeks, none of which had nearly as many stickers as this, but we'll get to that. And of course, M.a.s.k, illusion is the ultimate weapon. I just love these fold-out catalogues. You know, as a kid, I would spend hours in bed looking at the Kenner Star Wars catalogues, and I remember having one similar to this, but it was strictly for Wave 1. But here we are with Waves 1 and 2. So it's wonderful to see these. Just beautiful. And in the first wave, it actually had a poster, whereas this one is a bunch of quizzes and word searches for kids to do, which is pretty interesting. Little maze there, help Hondo McLean find his hurricane. And there, of course, is the hurricane in all its glory. But anyway, this, I'm going to enjoy looking at this again later on. So, Firefly and Julio Lopez. So we're still got everything attached to the cardboard insert. So here we go. And wow, I may have to snip this off camera unless I can get it with a knife. Wow, this is well secured. Oh, there we go. Okay, so we'll move the insert off for the time being and take a look at Julio first. So his M.a.s.k is the, in fact it doesn't say, let me see, should have researched this before filming. It just says helmet, god damn it. Okay, I can put it on screen to tell you what this M.a.s.k is called. That's a weird looking M.a.s.k actually. Hang on, what the hell is this? Is that like a, I don't know if you can see that, it's like a, oh that's the bomb I guess. Oh, I thought it was like a weird, you know, knight's helmet there with the thing sticking out, but I guess it just so happens that the bomb has perfectly slotted itself into his helmet. Yeah, there we go. That's more like it. Now, I've often wondered the fact that the M.a.s.k figures came with a helmet and no handheld weapons. Obviously, the figures were too small for handheld weapons, but given the choice, I think I do like the fact that they came with these removable helmets and there was no need to include any other accessories with these figures. This is a great looking figure, especially with the mask on. I'm a big fan of that. And yep, painted eyebrows and moustache, and as with all M.a.s.k, no other facial features were painted on. But this, yep, great looking figure. And so, nice, smooth rolling, and these are indeed Goodyear branded tires, which is always a nice touch with M.a.s.k. I think, yep, even on the smaller wheel it does say Goodyear. Very, very nice. So now we have the Firefly fully stickered up, so let's take a closer look at all the various parts of this. So Julio Lopez looks really cool actually, has to be said, nicely done. And the mask has a nice sort of softness to it, so it fits on and it stays in place, which is really good. Now, I gotta say, in terms of stickers, this was the most stickers I've ever placed on a M.a.s.k vehicle. And for it to be a smaller vehicle, it was quite complex. Well, not complex, but it required a lot of attention to detail. So I can only imagine a lot of these on the used market will have stickers in the incorrect positions and all over the place if kids were left to do it. So we'll put Julio into the driver's seat prior to doing the transformation into attack mode. Now this is quite fiddly actually. He is one of the figures that didn't actually need knee joints to sit down, but anyway. So there we go. He looks pretty good sitting in there. Now to transform this, really simple. It requires pulling back on this lever up here, and by doing so, the wings fire out. We're going to flip over this and then this. And there we are in attack mode, or as they call it, a rocket glider. So this has exposed what they call the tripod laser. These on the wingtips are known as prism beam launchers. And underneath we have what's known as the super stun atomizer. Now that was the little bomb that came stuck in his helmet. So to activate that, second lever up here, so if he's flying over the Venom agents, pull back on the lever and this little bomb drops out, or I should say the super stun atomizer. So all in all, a rather nice looking M.a.s.k vehicle, it has to be said. Pretty simple transformation, but sometimes simple is better than overly complex. And once we get it back into dune buggy mode, which is how I'll be displaying it. All my M.a.s.k vehicles are currently displayed in vehicle mode, and I've actually made a mess of that. Only thing is, be very careful putting it back again. Make sure these guns don't get in the wrong place because it could bend them. But there we are, back and rolls rather nicely. And I'm still amazed at the Goodyear branding on the tires. That's a nice bit of attention to detail. And it did mention on the box that Goodyear is a trademark of the Goodyear Tire and Rubber Company. So no need for Kenner to have gone quite as far as to brand them Goodyear, but they did, and that is something that is just a nice touch. So all in all, I'm extremely happy with this. I'm going to add it to my collection, and once again, just enjoy the moment. And I certainly did enjoy doing the unboxing. So there you go, Firefly, very nice. So that was the M.a.s.k Firefly, and I am extremely happy to have this in my collection. I absolutely love M.a.s.k, and despite it having weird memories back in the 80s for me, having them in my collection now brings me immense joy. So anyway, hope you enjoyed it all. Thank you for watching, with special thanks going out to the patrons. Please like, please subscribe, and as always, stay tuned for more videos from All Things 80s.